Okay. Let me see here. Instagram. Why isn't Instagram going live? Okay. Hello, beautiful. Good night. Good night. I am sharing the live. So give me just a minute to get everything situated here. I pray that you all are having a wonderful day. I pray you guys are having a wonderful day. Nick, can you hear me? Nick, hear me? Nick, I can't hear you. Okay. Nick, I can't hear you. Nick, Nick. Okay, somebody let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Nick, I can hear her microphone, but I don't know why she's not responding. Hey, Nick. Nick, hello. Okay, so thank you, Mama Star. Good. How are you? I couldn't hear Nick, y'all. I don't know what happened. Hopefully she come back in, but I couldn't hear her. Can you guys hear and see me okay? Can you guys hear and see me okay? Mama Star, Mike, uh, Nick is not on right now. She offered what I'm going to do is tag her. I'm going to tag her in juicy stuff. But until then, I can give us some tunes. Also, let me know if I'm live on Instagram. Let me check Instagram and see if I'm live on Instagram. Because I'm trying to make sure that I do this thing properly. Tag can be combined. You're already added to the post. Okay. So, all right. You all go ahead and like, share, subscribe, share the live. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going ahead and tagging some people. So I can get the folks' attention. You all, okay. I appreciate you all's patience with me because, you know, I'm learning how all this still, and every day something new, you know. But I'm enjoying the fun of it all. At the end of the day, I'm enjoying the fun of it. Yes. Okay. Neek, I believe Neek is ready. Neek,
Hello, 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 everybody.
I don't know what was going on, darling.
I don't know either. It was
We,
like counting down and then it was just there. I
all of
was,
that. I was just like, eh.
but you know what? Here comes me again. We're still in the
Mercury
post
retrograde.
shadow energy of Mercury retrograde. So things like
So
this is
true.
expected to happen. And they often say the post shadow period, the energy is way more intense than the actual retrograde itself. So,
Mm.
woosah, and we're gonna keep chugging.
Oh, yes. We have to. We have to. Let me make sure my audio are good here. And we're gonna get rolling. But anyhow, how was your day today, Nick? How's your day been so far? As we
You
warm
know,
up the place and get people in here.
it was a very beautiful day. I took some time to really appreciate the beauty of simplicity. Like I was
Yes.
passing these tulips and I realized how beautifully they had blossomed. And I was like, in the midst of this concrete jungle, because a lot of times I get frustrated with the lack of nature around me.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? There's a little nature here in New York. You just have to look for it.
You gotta look
And when
for it.
you
You
find
know,
it, appreciate it. So I'm really grateful for the tulips.
there's a whole an entire waterfall in Prospect Park. That was one of the first I got a chance to do with my ex when I came to visit for a nice period of time. Give me 1 second, you guys. I'm going to get my incense. But I want to thank you guys for coming in. For those of you on Facebook and YouTube, go ahead, like, subscribe, share. You all have been
And
trying to
comment.
get in the comments. Please get in the comments. Let's light it up. Um, okay. I'm trying to incorporate Instagram on the live because Instagram to be able to hear Neek's beautiful voice and her beautiful thoughts and things. However, uh, I'm having a little bit of pushback with Instagram now, so I'm gonna be multitasking really lightly. However, oh, I think I know what's so. Anyway, it's been a really good day in the midst of everything that's going on. Just to give you guys a little bit of background on what's been going on with me. Um, Here in Georgia, I belong to Spiritual Baptist community and a church by the name of St. Catherine Spiritual Baptist Church located in Decatur, Georgia. And we have we're going through the transition of our matriarch mother transitioning, and this was someone that I was very, very close to, and so it's a very busy week for us as a whole, but more so for my spiritual mother and pastor of the church and her immediate family. I pray that you guys give and send good vibes for Mother B and St. Catherine, because we're going through it as a collective, but we're going through it day by day, taking it one day at a time, but able to have a good time being with each other, and so I'm grateful for all of that, so God is good anyhow. I know there are some people that are out there that are also experiencing, or loved ones that may not be doing so well. And I just want to send love and positive energy to you all, and know that, in the midst of it, we will make it, we will get through it. And, you know, positive and staying prayerful and staying mindful is how we're going to get through it. So I welcome you all tonight to Wild Out Wednesday. We're host Barbara and your co-host Miss Rain, aka Neat, but everyone because Rain is who she's given in this podcast. So we want to respect that.
Yeah.
You understand? Rain is what she's given. So even making sure I catch myself because it's like second nature. But I want to just welcome you. I'm grateful for your attendance. I'm grateful for your. I'm grateful for you just by and spend time with us. So we're getting into a juicy topic tonight. This is part 3 of a series, and we're going to soon conclude this series, this aspect of talking about sex and spirituality, and get into some other juicy things. But we both felt that it was best that we give a well-rounded um, teaching and perspective and under sex and spirituality. Although it is so vast and it is so great and it is so large, we thought that there were certain topics or elements of the topic that we should discuss with the masses. And so we pray that it has been beneficial, and we have been getting great feedback from viewers and people that have been seeing it, whether they saw it on the live or saw it post the live and got a chance to go back and view it. We've been getting great feedback, and so I want to you that have been viewing and giving feedback. I want Neek to go ahead. Neek, did I see the Baptist finger? Go ahead. Yes, get the back. Come with it, Neek.
I feel like it was such a privilege to have these conversations, especially
Yeah.
as spiritual beings, because I think there is so much taboo when it comes to just hearing the word sex or even thinking about the connotations of sex and spirituality being something that is synonymous, that goes hand in hand. So for me, going through this series was like eye opening because it revealed to me a lot of things about myself, things that I thought I was comfortable with sharing that I may not have been more comfortable with. Just learning that I still have a lot of social constructs around sex,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
just even understanding that I myself still am learning how to traverse the fine lines of sexuality and spirituality. Because sometimes spirit does be talking to you and tell you not to do something, but your flesh, your flesh may be strong. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
want to say I'm thankful to you, Ra, for giving me the opportunity to be the voice on this series, because a
Oh,
lot of
sure.
times I think us as women, especially spiritual women, we may not be comfortable with talking about sexuality and sensualities and taboos and kinks and how important it is to understand thyself when we're going about engaging in sex, because we're
Yeah.
still thought that this is something that you keep in the private, that is hush hush, that is a no subject. A lot of us still
Mm-hmm.
never really
Mm-hmm.
had a proper conversation about what we like or what we don't like or what we enjoy and what we don't enjoy, and it's still such a restrictive thing, even though we have become such a socially acceptable society to sex. And I find that to be such an interesting dichotomy. And I'm glad that we had this series to explore some of those gray areas about sex and some of those
Mm-hmm.
interconnections and introspections about sex
I agree
from a
with you.
spiritual standpoint.
Yes. And even I spoke to, believe it or not, I got great feedback from both men and women from the live, but more so speaking to the mature group of women, that reached out and gave feedback. What I found very shocking was that there's a large number of mature women that to be able to experience the fullness of what comes with having a great intimate encounter and being up into that fullness of um, their body, their selves, what the body feels like, the full orgasmic experience. And I found that quite is sad. But then it hit me, and it hit me, and I want to know your deep into the Kundalini, because I think this is really good. Um, was that when it comes relationships, especially in our community, the Black community, and this is worldwide, I believe. It's not a diaspora, a worldwide thing for the Black, is that oftentimes men are taught to disregard their feelings or emotions, or ignore their emotions and their feelings, or not tap into that energy because it comes across as being soft or as demasculating or whatever. But what I realized when I thought about it, when it comes to expressions of intimacy, the exchange of intimacy, is that due to the lack of connection to emotion and not knowing how to be in tune with one's emotions, and it prohibits one from being able to truly connect with the mate and a companion and tap into their emotions and their sense of their vulnerabilities, because shut off from you. How about that, Neat?
That's such a complex question to, answer, because I feel like there's generational gaps that exist when it comes to sexual enjoyment and what that, looks like and what that feels like. And I could talk about areas and aspects of myself, and I can stay in that area. I don't want to answer for
Okay.
a majority of people. For me, it took a long time to understand that sex is mutually enjoyable, that it's not just a service that is being performed to please your partner. And I think that's because I never had a sex conversation with either one of my parents. Sex was
Mm,
always, I remember being young and you wasn't even allowed to watch kissing on TV in front of your parents.
mm,
They would tell you to block your eyes when there was kissing on the TV. So there was always this barrier of understanding what sex was truly meant to be, because I who do you speak to, unless you may have like an older sister or a cool auntie. you know in the West Indian culture, that's not something that's really discussed openly, to say you have a set expectation going into it. So,
yep,
you
yep.
provide sex because that's what a good wife does, or you provide sex for procreation. There's never been a conversation of just having sex for enjoyment.
Hmm,
So I
hmm.
think because these conversations never existed, a lot of the women in the older generation, they may have been like me, and I don't want to assume that sex is a duty. It's something that you perform to make sure you keep your husband satisfied, to keep your partner happy, but it's not something that you're meant to enjoy. So they may have gone through experience after experience, never really experiencing that full orgasmic sensation, because they've never been in tune with not only the aspect that they could enjoy sex, but the aspect of self. Because for
Hmm.
so long, you got to understand, they were taught that even masturbation was something to be considered sinful. So that generation didn't get that chance of like exploring ourselves. Us women of our generation and younger, we got toys. People talk about the rolls like it's water. Like it's not a taboo thing to say, well, I'm gonna go use my rolls or whatever the case may be. It's open, but you got to understand, like, these things did not exist for the generation right before us.
Mm-mm. Nope. And so that
So
goes back to that confirms my statement of being disconnected from the emotions. There's been
so
a muzzle put on the emotions. One for the man is just to procreate, and we got the horns riding, and we need to release some energy. And then for the woman, from the aspect of duty, they don't have the opportunity to tap and express those levels of emotions because they've been muffled. Go ahead, Nick.
but that's why I said I think it's a generational thing, because the generation right after me is being taught now that sex is supposed to be pleasurable. That sex is something that I deserve to get off too. Like, it may not be delivered in the best connotations, but the
Yes,
message
yes,
is
yes.
definitely out there that
I
sex for
should.
women is supposed to be pleasurable. They will go trick off on another guy. They're not no longer staying loyal to some man just because that's what it's supposed to be. No, they're going to explore their sexual desires as well. So I think men are getting better if you're of a certain generational gap of knowing that they're supposed to please their partners. There's so many podcasts, there's so many conversations
Yeah.
happening now where it's not as taboo to say, well, even like in the West Indian culture, remember back then they say, oh, you can't say you eat coochie and all these kind of things, like it was considered
It
wrong.
was
You have
foul.
to
It
think
was,
about
yeah.
how far we have come as a
It
people
was
when
foul to
it
put your
comes to
mouth on
like
boom boom. That
to
deep.
explore their sexual desires and to explore that
Yeah.
level of intimacy. So I think that answer really is a generational thing, because I think women nowadays, because hopefully, I can only speak for myself, are exploring their bodies, getting to learn themselves. They have access to all these toys. They're more open in their communication. They should be having better sex in theory. But you never know.
Mm-hmm.
But
You
I
never
really do
know.
think it's a generational thing of like how expressive they are of their needs and their wants and their desires when it comes to achieving that big. Because it can't just be a one-way street. You can't tell the man, oh, I need you to please me, and you don't even know how to please yourself. You don't even know how to
That part.
get yourself there, you know?
That part.
So, and I think because the older generation wasn't taught to like explore themselves and to know that they're supposed to enjoy sex, that's where that disconnect comes from. But the younger generation, at least in theory, should be having better relations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ashe, Watchmen say change the social ideology. This is societal ideology. I agree. Because, people make decisions or refrain from making decisions or attempt or don't attempt things due to societal or social norms of their community, whether it be culturally, spiritually, by zip code, and whatever communities or various communities people belong to. A lot of times, whatever those norms are, people assimilate or make decisions according to that. And you just have to get to a place of being authentic yourself. You know, F the BS and just be authentically yourself, and you'll get a better outcome and have a better, experience in life. I feel so. As a transition, mhm, into the feature topic tonight, which is, sex and Kundalini energy. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are probably asking. Some of you may be very familiar and have probably heard of it already. The Kundalini energy and raising your Kundalini vibration or tapping into your Kundalini energy, those things, X, Y, by Z. However, we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. Now, let me you and give a disclaimer for those of you that come for us later that may view. We are not tantric priests. We're not tantric gurus. Okay, we're not tantric gurus. We are not initiated into tantric practices. There are there's videos, literature, book, and information that is accessible to the public that you can be abreast on. So, what we are intending to do tonight is just share a little bit of what we've gathered. One from our research and our studies, and then two from our own practice of there within. You understand? And from that, we do pray is able to help you. Now, there are gurus that are accessible. I don't know any of them personally, but you can find for yourself. You understand? That could take you into the realms and depths of all of that. But we just want to, shed a little light, break the ice, plant a little seed in hopes that it will definitely help you all. And growing, being aware, because, there's a lot of things that we do uh, and don't even think about it. We do it without thinking about it, or we get into the practice of the motion of because our spirits take over sometime, and we get into it, and we do certain things without thinking about it. And so, some of us tonight resonate with already. Go ahead, Nick.
I just also wanted to stress that this is no way in shape or form an advocacy for having a Kundalini awakening, because as we go into the topic further, this is not a joke subject. This is a subject that even after me saying to myself, let me go do my research, I'm still more mystified than I am aware. So I want to say again, this is just us sharing our limited knowledge, because there's people who study this their whole life and still lack awareness of truly what Kundalini is. That is how vast of a
Vastly.
topic, of a
Yeah.
subject that this matter is. But what we
Yes.
can do is talk about how people and our awareness of Kundalini, and knowing just the most basic elemental understanding of the Kundalini, is going to help us raise our Shakti. It's going to help us raise our vibration, because you're opening up to yourself, to the universe, to say, I want to know more. I want to move intentionally. I want to move purpose drivenly. Once you say to yourself, I'm going to start delving into Kundalini energy.
Yes, exactly. And so someone asked, and I was waiting for it. But I'll go ahead and read a definition of it. But let me also say this: Kundalini energy, or the practice of, you know, with or delving into Kundalini, it stems from the principal teachings of Hinduism. Now, understand a very broad spectrum. You understand the practice of Kundalini practices. Um, it is so broad that it does not have set definition, but what I will share with you are a few of them that I found most. One second. Okay. It says in Hinduism, and now this is according to the Very Well Mind, which is healthness association. And so it says here in Hinduism, Kundalini is a form of feminine energy to be coiled at the base of the spine. The word Kundalini comes from the Sanskrit word meaning coiled snake. This energy can be awakened through yoga, mantra, and meditation. And then also, as we're going to add in there, do the practice of, forms of tantra and forms of intimacy. And so that's what those are what we are practicing on. Now, let me also say, as you heard from the definition, it got into meditation and mantras. I will say those elements when you're dealing with building the Kundalini and even dealing with, sacred connections with the mate, part of it consciously and subconsciously. Okay. But the more that you are conscious of it, the more powerful and potent it is. Go ahead, Rain.
And I also want to say certain connections awakens your Kundalini energy. There's certain connections that you will meet, especially intimately, that would spark that awakening within you. You may start having more conversations that are of deep depth and connection. And when we think about intimacy, we often think about sex, but we don't think about the true nature of intimacy. That person that you can share your most innermost thoughts with, that's still a sharing of energy and vibrations and frequencies. So when we think about Kundalini, I don't want us to simply mere box it into this sexual sacral practice,
Yes.
because it's truly the awakening of the primordial mother energy,
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
the
And let's be
primordial
mindful
feminine
too.
energy.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. And let's be mindful too that, as Meek was saying, that when we get into Kundalini energy and even dealing with the sexual connection element of it, it does not require penetration. It does not require any of that. So we're going to break a lot of that down now. So, number one, what is this vibration of the coiled snake, or what does the definition mean when they get into the coiled snake? You know, hmm, okay. When we get into the coiled snake, part of being located at the base of your back, you'll probably realize or notice that sometimes when you get the feelings of excitement or deep thought, or even whether it's been expressed through, or even through your working out, whether it be through yoga or deep breathing work, breath work. As William was saying, these things will cause you to feel certain things within your body internally. Internally you start to feel. Go ahead.
I want to say that think about this chakra system. The primordial energy, that initial spark, is basic survival, which is located at your root chakra.
Root
But when
chakra.
as you continue to evolve and be able to move out of survival mode, move into higher consciousness, into higher awareness, you start moving into your sacral chakra. You start moving up the ladder, and that's what the
Up the
Kundalini
ladder.
awakening is about. It's about the enlightenment through the traversement of the energy flowing up the nervous system, up and out, ultimately
Mm-hmm.
through your
Mm-hmm.
crown chakra, which is total enlightenment. That's why they say people who truly go through a Kundalini awakening, they have deeper psychic powers, they are more
Powers.
intuitive, they have more spiritual inclinations, because they've been able to move past that basic level of just survival and transcend. So the Kundalini
Yep.
energy and the Kundalini awakening is truly about transforming and transfiguration. Now you can choose to go through that path through sexual means, because sex, as we said in the beginning of the series, is one of the most powerful forces and energies. So that's why some people do sexual tantra, but I don't want us to limit tantra to just sexual practices, because that's not even the
Mm-mm.
base of tantra.
Basis of it. Nope. Nope. Not at all. Not at all. And
But it
so
is a
even when we
creative
get into the
force.
say that again, Neat.
It is a creative force that could be done and expressed through sex. So I don't want to take away from that
Absolutely.
point either.
Absolutely. When you start to feel that like magnetism, or you start to feel that vibration in a space, just say, okay, you're in a space and you're now sharing a space with someone. It could be a touch on the hand, it could be a touch on the shoulder, it can be a touch in certain parts of your body, and you will feel certain things. You understand, and that will start to start at the base of your back, right in the center, and you will feel that moving. Now, how does it work when we get into of the intimacy of it? The preservation, Neek talked about that a lot in the last class. The preservation of your orgasm, not releasing. That's the goal of it, not release, preserving that, holding on to that, but also the connection that you build and rising up the chakra points. The ways you can do that. Well, number one, set sphere. Number two is there's certain things that will awaken the senses, whether that is certain incense that you use, certain oils that these things will activate certain um, senses within you. Your touch, it will make the body more sensitive to touch. It will open up your senses of smell. It will open up your senses of focus. It shifts the into a focus point. Now, as Nick had mentioned, reach of clarity. You'll notice that when you're building with someone, and you're building that energy, that passion. Start with conversation, and you're building that energy, and then that conversation shifts into the exchange of touch and affection, whatever that looks like, whether it's kissing or a combination of the kissing and the combination of the kissing and touching. And you're building that passion, you're building that energy. You're not rushing to get to this climax. You're not rushing to release, but yet you are now in sync with a person. Now, something I want to mention that I heard, actually, Rain sent me the link, that I heard that was very pivotal, is that the partner, and we hit on that a lot last week, the partner that you do this with, this is not just anyone that you can just pick up via, oh, we're going to, have a tantric experience. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
want to, as I said earlier, I want to talk about that connection with that specific person. You have to start really using your power of discernment. It's like when you have a metal detector and you're searching for gold, you start to set your
Mm.
vibrations and your frequencies to say, I want to locate the partner that would be best able to take me to that next level of Kundalini awakening. Because to me, the
Yes.
Kundalini awakening happens in stages. Because if you
Yes.
went through that whole awakening all at once, you'd probably go crazy to have that
Mm-hmm.
level of awareness all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start setting your radar to finding that specific partner that's vibrating with you, and make sure that you internally are vibrating at a particular vibration and frequencies, you will attract a like-minded partner who you can do these tantric practices with. Because I can be doing tantric practices, I can be doing breath work with you, I can be touching you, and we can be all sensual. But because we're not at the same vibrational frequency, what I'm trying to manifest during this tantric practice is not going to come to fruition. So I think it's very
I agree
important
with you.
to make
I
sure
agree
that
with
we're
you. I
choosing
agree
the
with
right partners.
you. Now, somebody asked, and I said this question came up. Asked, how do we go about making sure that it's the right partner? Number
That's what
one, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like throughout this series, we have been pounding one particular concept: know thyself. You cannot find the right partner if you don't even know yourself. If you don't know what you're looking for, if you don't know what you're interested in, if you don't know what you're trying to get out of a situation, you'll never find the right partner. Say, I'm looking for a person that can help build me spiritually. What does that look like? Is he building me spiritually just on a superficial level, or he's taking me to the next level spiritually? Do I have to become more clear with myself and my intentions in order to attract the right mate? You'll realize when you start to get so clear in your intentions, you're not even going to be interested in people who are just coming around you anymore. Or you'll start realizing less and less people come around you because you have set your intentions so clear, so that the few
Yes.
that does come around you, it makes it easier to shift through because you have a set checklist and checkpoint. But if you have no interpersonal knowledge of self, then you can't detect what's the right person.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I agree with you. Um, and being comfortable with having the tough conversations. A lot of times we meet, we court, we link up, we make these connections, and we're not having the right conversations. You know, if you are if you've given the universe sign that this is a type of this is the path that you're on right now. This is a space, this is a season that you're on, and you have a particular mission and you're working on something. I always tell people expect a test to come in threes or sixes, tested and tried. You know, so that means there will be options and persons that will come your that will not be the best choice or the right choice at all. You understand in the matter. You have to again develop and be sensible. Go.
And something just came to me. If you're just
Mm-hmm.
looking for a strictly, let's say you're not looking for the right one, you're just looking for a great sexual connection, your body
Ashe.
knows that.
Yes.
Your body
Mm-hmm.
knows that when you meet somebody and you start to feel that instant tingle, and for the women, your breath starts to get a little bit deeper, and whatever the case may be, you know before it even happens, this is going to be a great sexual encounter. Because let's be real, not everyone's looking to find the right person. You know,
Yes.
some people are
Yes.
just looking
Exactly.
for the right encounter. You got to start listening to
Yes.
the cues of your body. I can't speak for the cues of men, but I know for me, like if I see a guy, and I'm not a person that's attracted to superficial features. So if I see you and all of a sudden my breath is getting shallow, I'm feeling kind of daisy, I'm like, oh, this might be a great sexual encounter because I've learned my body. I've learned my cues. I've learned what I know is going to be my interpersonal signals for a
Mm-hmm.
great interaction. Now, it still goes back to knowing yourself. Some people are so sexually inexperienced. They may have had a lot of sex, but they've never had quality sex. They've never had intentional sex. So they're just going around here just doing it for the sake of doing it. You know, so people
Now
may
let
have
me
a lot
also
of
say
intent
this
to it.
though. I will say this though. I don't believe. Okay, let me say this. When I spoke about the, definitely not talking about the right person as in your permanent companion. I'm talking about the right one to have sex magic with. So let me specify, work your sex
Okay.
magic with. Okay, so that's where I'm more so speaking on. So everything I'm speaking on tonight is referring to your intimate partner that you plan on having sex magic with. That may be your wife, that may be your boyfriend, that may be your fiance, or that may be a particular person. You understand? And so I'm speaking about finding the right one or seeking that person and determine you need to know who can I make magic with, who's going to be this person I can really manifest some great things with. Requires you to be on the same vibration, same frequency, and be on the same page pretty much. Now, do I believe that you could okay, I meet this person A. Um, I feel like they real magical, real spiritual. We're on the same vibration. We're talking the same thing. Then I meet person B, and they on the same vibration. We're talking between A and B. One is still going to be better to do that with. And even when we get into, I feel like your magic will be more potent with being consistent with one of them versus just I met person A this month and next month is going to be person B. I feel like you'll produce greater magic or greater consistency with having the partner that you guys are building and creating a magic with. Go ahead.
Going back to the Kundalini awakening, minus the sex, if you are going through a true Kundalini awakening, your intuition will be heightened. So you will start
Mm-hmm.
to know if I'm trusting my intuition, going back to the topic of picking the right partner to do sex magic with, you will start getting these bodily cues, these mental cues, because you are already in the process of a Kundalini awakening. So that means your intuition and
Yes.
your perceptions are heightened.
Heightened. Yes. Yes. I see to that.
Is for us as humans to trust what we feel. And everybody that know me know I have a saying, what I feel is real. Because if I tell you I feel something, I'm most likely right about it. Like I'm a good 95% right about it. So you have to learn
Mm-hmm.
to trust your intuition and trust your bodily cues and trust that you have built such a level of filter within your life energetically that riffraff shouldn't be getting past it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I said sometimes you will realize when you go through these spiritual awakenings, you're meeting less people. You're not having as much social interactions with as much people because your filter
Mm-mm.
has become so proficient. It shifts out things before it even reaches to you. At least that should be your energetical goal, at least for me. Because I
Yes.
don't have time
Yes.
to sift through bullshit. Excuse my French. So
Absolutely not.
I set my requirements so high that if I notice you, trust me, you're quality product.
I like that, Nick. If I notice you, if I give you the time of day, you must be quality.
You must be because I know my what I've set and what my parameters are, and I trust the universe. And so far, it hasn't let me down.
I
But I
love
went
it.
through an extensive process of a Kundalini awakening, and I tell people it's not something that I would just say dive into because
Absolutely not. You got to take your time.
in order to reconstruct you and to get to these levels of enlightenment, oftentimes the universe will put you through some things.
Yeah, because it's also healing. We got to talk about that too. When you get into opening up chakras and healing certain chakras and tapping into certain levels of clarity, in order to get clarity, when we talk about getting clarity, you understand everything that you were in the shadow about at some point is going to shine so that you can get clarity, so that you can come out of whatever space you need to come out of to get where you need to be holistically. And so traumas that have been locked away, or certain memories that you may have had tucked away that you didn't know about, could come to you. You understand? Or you may, have those light bulb moments. And then the other side to that too is, you know, um, certain things being revealed. And a lot of Druid practice, or Celtic practices, they would use that practice particularly to also, certain witches would use it to get visions, or to be able to travel. You know, teleport. What is the word that I'm looking for, Neek? When you're traveling outside of your body, astral
I
traveling.
could project.
You know, you understand. And so again, having the right partner is important. Go ahead, Neek.
I want to go back to something you briefly mentioned about sex, using sex to heal. And that goes back to our topic we discussed last week about kinks. A lot of times for people, kinks are usually a result of trauma that they're using to get back their power and reclaim that space and get that healing that they're needing. If we start to look at sex as a healing magic and a way to release stored trauma, and if you done correctly, open up portals that may not be even aware of certain traumas that they have, you know, we can really truly use sex for what it was intended to be, a tool for healing. And I honestly believe that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. And so, um, when you connect with the partner, Nick, should we get into the practice of now? Since we talked about the
Sure.
parameters of, okay, we're going to transition and talk about the practice of. Now we've discussed, going through the process of knowing thyself. Number one, knowing thyself and the importance of knowing thyself. And then number two is, in knowing thyself, making the signing the declaration, or putting the declaration to the universe that now you're ready to build in this journey, and grow within yourself, and tap into that Kundalini awakening. And you want to start, number one, we already talked about starting with yourself, self exploration, tapping into certain feelings within your body on your own terms, exploring what it feel like to have a full orgasm, those of you that have never had one. You understand? Also utilizing that a solo, that individual, that personal time as an act of self-love, self-pleasure, self-enjoyment, but also visualization and intention building for that to come. Because when you know how it feels for you, then you will know exactly what it will feel like with someone else. But at least you have a clue, and you have some sense of, to know, as a seed planted, to have some sense and know what it is you're going out now in the universe to engage with another, or another. Okay, so now that we've gotten to that point of we connected with someone, we've discerned, and we've now connected with someone. Okay, and we get into the act and the practice of tantra, or and tantric, or tantric intimacy. I don't even want to say tantric sex, because I say sex in modern day times, people automatically think, penetration, or oral fixations and all these set of things. But intimacy is greater than that, and is things are acts with intimacy, but it's the fullness of what encompasses intimacy in the acts of tantra. So, Nika, I'm gonna let you take the reins on, and then I'm gonna segment and pick. And yes, dog, because you coming with the good stuff today, and especially from a woman's
No, I'm
perspective,
coming
because
with
I
the
want to.
honest stuff today. Today, I'm going to be very honest.
Yes, I like that.
Intimacy is something that I still struggle with
Okay.
because I am a survivor of many forms of abuse.
Okay.
And that has affected my ability to receive intimacy. But I've reached a stage of awareness of this. And I am
Okay.
constantly working to course correct. So now you have to find the right partner who has the patience to go through these steps with you. For me,
Okay.
things like physical touch is very hard for me. And with that
Mm.
level of intimacy that is required to have someone just hold you or slowly stroke on you or rub on you or even to give you those positive words of affirmation and reassurance, that is levels of intimacy. That's something that I still personally struggle with.
Okay. So how about you ask me some questions because I'm a Pisces. I'm gonna open up and share some things with you guys because intimacy is one of my fortes. It's what I anyone that knows me or have had the pleasure of being on that level knows that it's something that's very sacred to me and I don't play with. And so you can ask me some questions, but I'll start. And
Mhm.
so getting into intimacy and tantrum, you guys, I'm gonna ride the wave. Mama Star, you're on cue. If I'm talking too fast, this is not just for Mama Star. This is an inside joke between me and her. But if I talk, slow me down because I'm reading the comments. You understand? If I say something that you don't understand, comment and allow me to see it so that I can make sure that I'm speaking with a level of clarity and not missing important things. You understand? And so when it comes into intimacy, you know, I didn't start being intimate with someone on another level, like on an intensive level, until my freshman year of college, actually. And what that was like, it was very tantric. It was very tantric. It was very, very, very coolie vibes, as we would say. You understand? Because the vibe was set, and it was not like just coming together to um okay, it wasn't just coming together to change energy, but it was more so to build a vibration and enjoy each other's energy and recharge each other's vibration. And so, you know with touch, number one, conversation and touch is very soothing. Like for me, I'm a foot person. I have a foot fetish, all you.
Put your foot
So
on me.
uh-huh, I have a foot
I'm
fetish.
gonna lose my
So
shit. I'm always in socks.
I have a foot fetish. So I like to rub feet. Anybody that I'm vibing with and I come into your space, and we sitting down, we listening to music or we're watching a movie or whatever. Most likely I'm gonna be rubbing your feet or rubbing your hands, all up in your personals, And it ain't gotta go ahead.
So I have to interject. No, because it's like I'm talking to you, so my mind is opening and flowing. I think I finally reached a place with a particular person where I feel safe. And I think safety is very key to intimacy
Important. Yes.
because in order to have intimacy, you need to have that key factor of safety and vulnerability. So I have to feel, at least for me as a earth sign, I have to be incredibly comfortable with you to be intimate with you. Now, I can have sex with you freely and that be fine. But if we're talking about true tantric intimacy, I have to feel very safe with you. I have to feel that I can let my
Yes.
guard down with you and allow
Yeah.
you into my true personal space. Because I wear a lot of masks, I wear a lot of hats, and I wear them well. So for you to know the true me and to get to know, to be in that intimate space with me, there has to be a lot of trust. So it goes back to trust, safety, and also that reassurance, and that's the foundations for intimacy, at least for me.
I agree with you. That is definitely foundation because if you don't feel safe, you're on your guard. I don't want to touch you. I'm looking all around. I'm making sure like it ain't no creepy crawlers. It ain't nobody about to jump out in the closet. It's nobody bed. There's no cameras. Like, I have to safety is important because if I don't feel safe, even as the more domineering person in the dynamic, if I don't feel safe, I'm not comfortable. And my mind starts to and I got to get the hell up out of this situation. Go ahead, D.
For me, it's more like an emotional safety. You know, do I feel confident to just operate within my feminine essence? Can I let my guard down
Mm,
with you? Can I
mm-hmm.
be my authentic self with you? Like, I'm not worried too much about my surroundings, because if I've made it to the part where we're going to be intimate, I trust you to a degree where I trust to be within your surroundings. Now, if we're
Yes.
going to
Yeah.
have intimacy, I need to trust that I can be safe with you, that my
Mm-hmm.
emotions
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that I'm going to share with you would be reciprocated. It may not have to be reciprocated in some way, but I know I can trust to give them to you, because I'm an earth sign. I can love you to death and you would never truly know what I feel on the internal, you know? I don't share my feelings with people. So if I'm going to be in that level of vulnerability, I need to have that trust and that reassurance that you're going to carry my feelings and my emotion with tender care.
Okay, so I like that you mentioned, because as I was getting into, for me being the more dominating person in the dynamic too, is always my go-to to make sure the person feels safe with me, even if I'm going into their environment. And it is that emotional safety that you're referring to. You understand? Because someone that don't feel safe or is guarded won't let you touch them. You understand? They don't even want you to sit close to them. You'll see them and you'll be on one end of the couch or on another couch entirely, and they're on a
That
different
be me.
side. You understand? And then I go on with the intent. Number one, concerned really about my safety, but more so it is that emotional safety and energetic safety. Because again, my mind won't rest if I see, like, for example, I walk into your space and I see that you're very anxious. You can't sit down. You're very jittery. You're going here, you're going there, you're going here, you're going there, you're picking this up, you're picking that up. You can't sit down for 2 seconds. That makes me feel like, okay, something is off here, or either I'm intimidating you. Like in a situation like that, I ask, am I intimidating you? Or are you, is something wrong? You understand what I mean? And I tried to shift the dynamic to make them feel safe. I'll ask them, come and sit down for a minute, and that, hey, can I rub your feet? Or, can I give you, let me see your hand. And in that, I shift space where they go from being guarded to shift. Okay, I can trust you a little bit. Go ahead.
Going back to Tantra, I think in order for Tantra to truly be Tantra, there has to have that level of mutual safety that is involved. Because now we're going to take sex from its basic level. Anybody that's ever had tantric sex knows when you reach that level of ecstasy, you, it just does something to the restructuring of your brain. So you
Mm-hmm.
need to have
Yes.
that safety that you can go there with that person, that you can get to that level of intimacy with that person. So in order for tantric sex to occur, I think there has to be that basic level of I trust you, you trust me. We're going to both mutually let our guards down and open our mind, body, and spirit to connecting on another level. Because now, while my physical touch may
Absolutely.
just be a physical touch, I'm touching your spirit as well, because you have now opened up yourself to me
Yes.
to touch
Yes.
these different levels of your soul.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so even Ms. Gardner said, I found out the other day that the hand is an intimate portal. Absolutely. And this is why I typically use my hands. That's number one. Before anything else, I typically will use my hand to ensure that land of safety. Just like when you stick your hand out, this gonna sound weird. Georgia mama, not me. When you stick your hand out to a dish, let them know, like, hey, I'm coming in peace. Same thing when I connect with a person, I'd use my hands first to typically extend that level of assurance of safety, whether it's through rubbing their hands, giving them a hug, putting my hand on their lap or their leg, or rubbing their hands. Also, yes, in the sense of the portals the hands are portals in the sense of they can exchange, they can distribute energy, and they also can receive energy. You understand? And so, same thing with your feet too. They can transmute energy, and they also can receive energy. And so these things are important. And so that is one thing, that is one small act of tantra. And actually, believe it or not, my obia ass, I draw seals on the hands. Judge your mama, not me. Try G, not me. I draw seals on the hands. And so Hindu aspect, um, in the Hindu aspect, we talk about the different symbols, the term of symbols, just as you can call it a seal or a symbol as well, that also carry certain frequencies and vibrations. And so I may draw a peace symbol. I may draw the Om symbol. I may draw a cross. I may draw the sun in their hand or on their foot and rub that in and just pass good energy, transmitting thoughts and energy of positive vibes and energy to them. And you do see a shift you do see a shift in the body, you do see a shift in the energy, and you see a shift atmospherically. Go ahead.
I just want to tell my ladies out there, give massages. If you give a massage a day, it will keep your man happy. Massage
Mm-hmm.
with intention. Speak words of life and encouragement
Yes.
into his life. You
Yes.
know, I'm a big person of, if you ever received a massage from me, you can ask about me. It's life. I'll be saving lives out here. But when you do
I
it with
agree.
intention, you can shift that person's energy. You work from the bottom base and you work your way up and you speak with intention. And those who practice Reiki will understand that you can definitely shift and move energy with massages. So give a
I
massage.
should. I
That's a
agree.
little, that's not obia, but that is a good tip to say.
Hello, Prince is healing. I'm using my gift to heal the land. You understand? One at a time, one vessel at a time. You understand? And so I may, for example, you may, and let me say this: it happens without me thinking about it. That is the subconscious or the over. Because, for example, Prince, I can be at church and hug Mother Elsa. Don't know Mother Elsa got pain. Hug Mother Elsa and some tell me she got pain. I may take my hand and draw some on her back. That's just me. You understand? It's not that I'm trying to work nobody. I'm working you, but with the help of the spirit in a positive manner. Now, Prince son
Let's,
Prince Son L said, "What if you're on guard?"
then it can't work.
Yep, just as simple. Because you can't confess to the universe, "I want to connect with someone, you know, and vibe with this person, and I want to build with this person, or I'm seeking a divine, intimate connection, and then go into a garden." That's oxymoronic. So it boils down to choice. You have the choice to be open. You have to make the choice to choose to have certain conversations. You have to make the choice to choose and express certain yourself in a healthy, balanced manner. Discern how much to share, but you can't be guarded.
Mhm. That's what I was gonna say. You have to be at a stage where you trust yourself to know what the universe is sending into your life is of goodness, so that your guard doesn't have to be on all the time. Now we all have our background of firewalls and defenses because you shouldn't be just out
Right,
here walking around willy nilly and free. But but that's where
right,
discernment comes back in again. You knowing yourself. When your guard is on, you're never going to receive what you're looking for. What you're looking for could be knocking right on your gates, and you're just not receiving it because you won't let yourself be in that mode of like, I trust myself, I trust the universe, and what it's sending into me is of goodness.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Agreed, agreed. I agree with you. I agree with you. And so a lot of times you'll have that Prince, where, hey, TikTok, hey, whoa, pipe down. Okay. Hey, you have situations. Mm, you have situations where people are, because of this past situations and past experiences, ooh, um, the past situation experiences, they will walk into a new situation guarded. They don't want to talk. They wait for a person to lead the conversations, or they wait for a person to ask the questions. They wait for a person to make the first move. They wait for a person to touch them a certain way, which is saying, I like to be touched
Mm-hmm.
like this. You understand? You understand? Or I went through this, and because of that, I'm growing in this particular area of my life. And because of that, I want to explore this particular thing in my life. You understand? These things are important. And sometimes because you have to grow, God holding you accountable, the universe is holding you accountable to grow in a particular area of your character building. Some situations will come across you, your path, that challenge you in that particular area. Until you gain victory in that, sometimes on that hamster wheel. Somebody was trying to breeze through, and they said, "Leave that. Come out of that dark place. Out of the darkness brings light." And when you're gonna step into light, I wasn't expecting to go there. Leave y'all alone right now, but just step into your light and embrace that. Embracing the light is embracing the all who you are and where you are, and acknowledging that you have stepped away from something else that has left already. Go ahead.
I would say a lot of times great opportunities pass us by because we're living in fear of the past. If you know that you have reached to a different level of awareness, and you know that you're not who you used to be in the past, you're not making the same decisions, you're not following the same patterns, no matter how similar the pattern may seem, you should know that you are able and capable of making better decisions. So a lot of times when we
Yes.
go into these situations with these guards, it's because we have not reached to a place where we have looked back and be like, well, wow, I've come really far. So we're still thinking with
Mm-hmm.
that same old mindset that we're going to make the same mistakes when we have reached another
Yep.
level of consciousness. And this is me talking to
Oh
myself.
yes.
Like I'm talking to y'all and I'm talking to myself. Because anybody that know me know I haven't been out here in these streets. I haven't been dating, nothing. And I think that's because I have these subconscious fears that are holding me back because I'm fearful of making the wrong decision. And a lot of times we don't even know that we're making these same patterns of decisions because we're not taking the time to be like, wow, let me step out of self and reevaluate what's going on around me. We may have guards up and we may not even be aware that we have guards up until we have these types of conversations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when you feel that when you identify, okay, I am guarded in this particular area, or you are in a particular scenario, and you feel that guard rising up. When you get by yourself, start to question and try to figure identify, why are you guarded in that area? Why is the guard there? And what you need to work on to remove that guard. Because again, in tantric practices, even in practicing certain things, will wake up or remind or trick or take you to a place, and you want to be able to not or in the space of being bound or in fear or restricted. You want to identify why you are where you, or why you are going the direction that you are going in. You understand? When we get into, again, building and healing through the act of tantra, through the act of these other aspects of building together intimately, it is grow you, and it is definitely remove. Thank you. Night. Have a beautiful night. It is going to grow you in certain areas be locked off, or even areas you even know that you needed to grow in.
I think once you start to open yourself to receiving the newness of it all, you can see the beauty of what is to come. But if you're living with these blinders of the past on, you can't see the beauty of the potential of the future. So a lot of
No.
times we hinder ourselves by having these like fears, these interpersonal blockages, and we keep ourselves from experiencing the newness. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the keys to the Kundalini awakening is getting to stages of enlightenment where we see where we're blocking ourselves. We see where
Yes.
we're limiting
Yeah.
ourselves. And not only
Yes.
see it, but be able to transcend past it. Because I can see this is a block and do nothing about it and still be stuck in the same place a year later.
Yes. Yes.
So as we go through Tantra, the only way to know that you're going to be safe in experiencing these types of things is to just do it. After you've done all the discernment, after you've done all the meditating, after you've done all the mantras, after you've done all the thinking, sometimes you just got to do it. You got
Yep.
to, embrace the touch. You got to embrace the levels of intimacy and just try it and see how you feel.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. And for those of you that are, because there are certain positions and certain motions and movements, we won't get into everyone tonight. That is not for us to do tonight. But there are definitely resources available. And I will definitely include some in the comments for you all to go ahead and view for yourself, that will give you positions to try out, or certain things you with yourself or try with the you understand, that will unlock certain things within the chakra points. And again, as Nick kept emphasized earlier on, don't rush to anything you're not ready for. Because when you start to unlock and move certain locks and unlock certain codes within you, you must be ready. And when we reach to the point, the act of, in the, I want to get through that motion of. We're with that partner, and we're going through the motion of the touching, the foreplay, the building of intimacy through touch, through smell, through senses, through
Breath
feeling.
work.
You understand?
Breath work.
Breath work, breathing together, making eye
Mm-hmm.
contact. So the
Mm-hmm.
keys to the soul. You understand? Touching, supporting, because it is also as an element of
Especially
tantra that requires the
that
support of one to
that
another.
key of eye contact, that look at me, because you got to understand the eyes are the window to the soul. So now when you're looking at the person and you're breathing in sync, you're opening so many different locks and different portals within that
Yes,
moment. So I would say
yes.
one of the key factors in tantra is that eye contact, because you're opening yourself to see within this person's depths and within their soul.
Yep, yep, absolutely. And that is a catalyst. Let me say, those are the catalysts that carries you through that journey of bridging through, walking the bridge, or maneuvering through the bridge to reach the state of the climax, which is the it's not the orgasm and the release. It's not the organ the release. It's being able to have the discipline and holding. We've had foreplay, we've touched, we've been intimate, all forms of exchange. When we reached and we felt ourselves getting ready to jump off of the cliff,
We
we've
held
pulled
ourselves
back
back.
when we held ourselves. And what you realize is when you're able to restrain through discipline and with care and tender, you are able to now sink your minds and your spiritual beings into a place to see, to gain, you want to explore. It's a connection between you and that person. Go ahead.
I want to say and make a full disclaimer, no one is saying this is going to be easy. No one's going to say that you're going to get this on the first try. Like I said, there's people who study this for their whole entire practice and have yet to fully achieve this practice of basically edging, you know? And when you use this energy and you hold on to this energy, it's to transmute it into creative energy. Get up, go to the gym. Go finish that paper you were supposed to do. Go finish the housework. Whatever it is you're supposed to do, channel that energy into creating something else, to creating something more, to visualizing, to bringing forth a new form of life, because you just conserved and you held that energy in. You didn't futilely just let it out and let it dissipate.
Mhm, mhm. I agree. I agree. I agree. Do you guys have questions for us in the comments to ask any questions tonight? I think these are very important talked about, because the best thing is discipline and discernment. Discipline and discernment, and being wise with how you know who you share your energy, how you share your energy, how often you share energy, and how you utilize the power of that snake rising to the brain, that snake rising to the conscious and subconscious, to give you that clarity. You strengthening the ties between you and spirit, also mate. You understand, and the mate is not, again, a forever person, but the mate is the person that you're choosing, choosing to have sex, so that you can manifest great things in your life. You understand? Now, we're not saying this partner is going to be forever. While until you guys reach where you need to go. You understand? But again, this was a really good conversation tonight, and very to the point. Like, we got in here and hit it. He said, "Shot fire. We're not playing today." You came in ready, blazing. But I think, again, when it comes to intimacy, and connecting with the person, we have to reach a point in our life where we have to stop waiting for a Ashe spirit. I wouldn't expect you to say this. This is coming right now. We have to reach a point in our life where, when it comes to loving and building with another, we have to stop expecting and waiting for the other person to do for us, or fulfill whatever expectation of what we feel they should do for us, in a sense of expressions of love or expressions of intimacy. And we have to shift to a mature state of, one, identifying it for ourselves, what that looks like, what that feels like, what that sounds like. You understand? And being bold enough and honest enough and real enough to be able to convey that with someone else. You understand? In a positive, well mannered, mature creation, so that you can have a fair opportunity to build at the level in which you need to build on. Now, these are some things that just simply don't need to be discussed, or they will come and be revealed in the midst of. But some things verbally conveyed, but you have to know for yourself what that looks like. Go ahead, Rain.
I just really want to stress this point. Sex is a powerful thing. Sex is not something that should be frivolous or pointless or done without intentions. And sex should be enjoyable. But within all
Yes.
that being said, you have to know thyself before embarking on these journeys related to sex. I feel like we're
Yeah.
just a society that's overly sexed up, but still sexually frustrated. That means because we're not doing it right. If you're still having all this
Mm-hmm.
sex and you're still seeing sex, and sex, you can buy it, you can rent it, you can do it yourself, you can, it's just so many avenues, so many vices, so many things that you can get into to sex.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're not doing it with intention, it's all meaningless. It's
Yep.
all
Yep.
pointless,
Yep.
you know? And on this journey of having sex, I want us to heal ourselves. I want us to learn to use sex to deeper fall in love with ourselves, especially if our women from a certain generation who was denied the rights to sexually enjoy themselves. It's never too late. Life, as long as you have
Mm-hmm.
life, enjoy yourself. Buy that toy.
Yes.
Go talk to that man.
Yes.
Do what you gotta do.
Yes.
Enjoy yourself for all the times that you never got to explore yourself. Just do it safely. Do it with discernment. I hope this series has helped you realize that yes, sex and spirituality is intricately linked, because you are opening up yourself to a multitude of energies when you decide to have sex with a person. You taking on
Yes.
them and their jumbies, and the jumbies are the people who they sleeping with. Because I
Mm-hmm.
always
Mm-hmm.
often think and sit, like, if I'm sleeping with you and you sleeping with this person and you don't know who that person's sleeping with, that's a lot of energies to constantly be filtering out. I'm not saying we
Yes.
should all be
Yeah.
nuns or we should be celibate. I just want us as a society to start moving more intentionally when it comes to picking a partner, to having sex, to opening ourselves to these forces, because as I said, it is a powerful tool. And if used correctly, it could heal. It could use to manifest. It could be used to bring in abundance. For Jesus' sake, it's used to bring in life. It's how we bring life into the world.
Hello. Who are you?
When we sit and we think about how powerful sex is, we wouldn't do it so frivolously.
Yes. 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 Healthy sexuality. Yes. We want to have healthy sexuality. Absolutely. And you have to be healthy in the mind, body, and spirit. You know, go and check out yourself. Go and make sure everything is working. You understand? Making sure that you're taking care of yourself physically, making sure that you're eating the right food so that your juices can flow properly. You understand? And that your senses are functioning properly. So make sure you're checking in with yourself holistically. You understand? But listen, we all are growing. We all are learning. We all are discovering. You understand? And fear is not our friend. It's nothing to be afraid of. You are your own worst enemy. You understand? When you good, good will come to you. When you surround yourself with protective mindset, protective energy will be around you. Saying you will align and attract and draw the persons and peoples that need to be in your space at the time and the season and what you need them. Okay. And so let's not operate in fear. Let's operate in truth. Let's operate in honesty. Let's operate in realness. And you don't have to tell everybody what you're exploring. You ain't gotta tell everybody, not even your best friend. You gotta tell everybody what you're getting into because sometimes we just don't want to hear people in negative shit thoughts because of their fears and their preconceived notions. We want to live in freedom and do what we need to do in a healthy manner. You understand? And that's my words to you all. Now, for those of you need a little help, a little sex, a little obia, a little candle lit, a little lamp lit for you, a little bath made. Or you understand to get that situation in order. Y'all call me. Get it together. Call me. Let's get those works in order. Let's get the work done. You understand? If you need a consultation on in your love life, what are your blockages? What are some things you need to refine or make better? You understand or shift to draw alignment with where it is you want to see yourself. Reach out to me. If you need me to come and spruce up your place to working properly, reach out to me for whatever your spiritual needs are. You understand readings, work, spell work, consultations, sacrifices, baths, cleansings, energy work, the whole nine. Call me. You understand? I look forward to hearing from you. Reach out to me. Call me in text. You can call me at 705973331. I'm sharing my number because it is public access. You understand? You can find social media platforms at the Elrise, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of the things. You can find me and our lovely co-host. Understand Rain. You guys go support her. She's going to tag her social media platforms in the comments when she gets the moment. And you guys go out and support her. Find Instagram. Find her on Instagram. Blow her
No.
Instagram up. Send her some good
I'm a
love.
totally different person. I'm very private. Don't find me on Instagram, no social media.
She said no
I'm
social
okay.
media.
We have this, y'all. This is all we need. We have this.
Listen, y'all are blessed to have Rain on Wednesdays. Y'all are blessed.
Yes,
Because
because
she is
if you
very
don't be
private and she just gave the disclaimer. So she said no social media. So do not be in her inbox. Gonna inbox her, sliding in her DM on Facebook and Instagram, trying to get all that good, lovely chocolate over there. Leave that alone. Understand there's gonna be problems. Big wahala. We don't want that. And so you guys, when Rain is with us on Wednesdays, sure, man. Send your people in to get some of this good chocolate. Ooh, you understand? Let them come and get some of so wisdom. You understand? Come send the in because we turn it up on Wild Out Wednesdays.
yes,
I
yes,
love you all.
yes.
I'm grateful for you all presence. Again, it's nothing short of amazing. It is this podcast, and the energy that goes into the podcast to get up It motivates me to look. It gives me something to look forward to week. I'm not lying to you. It gives me something to look forward to, amongst other things, to with my students. But this podcast is just something about this Wednesday night with me, with Rain. It just me up, and it just put a vibe that is like no other. And we're not even listen. We're not even in we're not even in the same city, and the love, the energy, the vibe, authentic, so real and so thick. I know you all can feel it. You understand. Grateful for my life, and I'm blessed to share this space with me on Wednesdays. Be grateful. Yes, be grateful because she don't come out like that, y'all. She don't come out like that. She don't post. She don't get out. She don't post her comments. She don't post her thoughts. So when she opens up with us, she opens up with us. When she
Yes.
shares with us, she truly shares with us. You
Yes. I am very,
cannot take
very
it for
private.
granted. We can't. We can't take. But God is good. Ancestors are good. Universe and all the intelligence, because me and Nick been toiling. This year has not come in very easily, but I guarantee you, in the midst of all, we've been able to smile, we've been able to enjoy, we've been able to show love and express love and give love, receive love, and in the midst of it, we're able to show up for you. We're able to give to you all and pour into you all the best way that we can. And we don't need, and honest with you, we don't think too much about it. We just get up and go. We just get to it. Like, hey, it's up. We getting. You understand? The people gonna love it. Love it, and that's how we approach it. And I'm grateful. I wouldn't want it any other way. I couldn't see myself really doing this with anyone else, but she gonna come out of she gonna come out the bag with some things you didn't think about. But also importantly, she helps me be great because she's able to see the things that I may miss to make sure that I'm giving y'all the best that I can give. And so I just want to share that love because I just feel like we share as much love as possible right now. There's so transitioning, so many people that are leaving us, and we have and some of us have a lot of people around us, but even with a lot of people around us, we don't receive the love, or that a lot of us deserve or need. You understand? And so I just want to make sure that, we're doing the best. And so if you guys have topics, send them in the comments, inbox us, you understand? Reach out to me via text or email or message acceptable. You understand? But I'm grateful for you all, and we're gonna log out. We're gonna log out. It was great. It was just really great talking with you all tonight. I really enjoyed it, and
Bye,
I loved it. I loved it.
everybody.
I loved it, and I pray that you all
I enjoyed
enjoyed
it
it
as
as well.
well.
Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your evening. Be safe. Enjoy your evening and be safe. I leave you all in peace, love, and oneness. I pray that the universe guide, cover, guard, shield, and protect all of you, your mind, your body, and your spirit. The doors will open for abundance and prosperity, that you lack for nothing, that you receive unexpected news this week, and may it be well with you all. Odabo, and good night. Peace and blessings.